Good afternoon, guys. It's working, bringing you a quick update on Cardano. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at Cardano to Bitcoin. This is the one-day chart on Bittrex, guys. And Cardano, I usually don't do updates on Cardano, but it's starting to look very interesting, and I'm getting very interested in Cardano. I like the chart because it's got a lot of, it's very technical. We got a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up prior to extended fifth wave. Anytime you have an extended fifth wave, you expect a larger correction. It's exactly what we have, and not only do we have a larger correction, we have a very technical correction. It's a very clear A, B, and C wave. Okay, not only do we have that clear 5 waves up, a very clear ABC correction, we also have, if we go swing low, swing high, we pull in here, what do we got? We have a hit. We expect, as I said, a deep correction. We do have a deep correction, also a technical correction with a hit right off the 865 fib level, 8865 fib level, I should say. So once again, that's technical. What else do we have telling us this might be ending? We have an ending diagonal, falling wedge here, and we can see as we zoom in here, price just bounced right out of that falling wedge. We can also see that price bounced right off of this demand zone here. It's a very strong demand zone. If we pull back here, it's bouncing right off of this order block here from back in December, and that continues to hold strong now, telling me there's a lot of buy orders sitting right in here. Again, this is on the daily, so this is a very strong order block, and sure enough, we come in here, guys, that's exactly what we have. We have a strong bounce off that order block for now. Doesn't mean it might come back down and test it. It certainly might. We haven't really had the volume I would like to see for a sustainable bull run yet, but it doesn't mean it can't come. And I also have to put the disclaimer in here, guys. While Cardano is looking right for a possible buy at the moment, if Bitcoin crashes, Cardano will crash with it. However, if Bitcoin rises, I think Cardano is going to rise at a greater rate. But if Bitcoin continues to just move sideways and consolidate, I do think Cardano still has the potential to break out. Not that it's going to, just has that, it does have that potential, and it is looking good to buy. So where would I enter my buy orders? I already took out a position at 1400 Satoshi. If I were you and you don't have an order in yet, what I would do is I would wait for the pullback. And I do think we might get a pullback here soon. So this being counted as a wave 1. Again, this will be a subwave with a larger wave 1, but a subwave 1, depending on where this wave 1 ends up, and we may have already seen the top. If that is in fact the top, what we do? We just go swing low, swing high, and we would expect a pullback somewhere between the 50 and the 618 fib. So that'd be somewhere in this zone here, about 14, 15 Satoshi, somewhere thereabouts, guys, would be a good place to start laddering in your buy orders if in fact that is the top. If you want to just ladder in your orders now, that's not a bad idea either. Completely up to you. This is not financial advice at all. If you want to be conservative, I'd wait for a retesting of this demand zone here and possibly start laddering orders in somewhere around 1400 Satoshi, between 1400 and 1350 Satoshi, somewhere thereabouts, expecting it might come down to this level here. To the upside, guys, but this is a very strong support down here, guys, between 14 and 1200 Satoshis, very, very strong support. Looking to the upside, guys, I do think that price is going to end up eventually coming here and testing this supply zone between 1615 and 1575 Satoshi up here. That is a decent supply zone as well. I wouldn't be surprised if price came up here. We had a small rejection off of that and then coming right back up. If we can end up breaking above this supply zone here, guys, clearly that's going to be a very bullish indication. The next zone I'm looking at is this 1618 for a support, or excuse me, as a resistance. Now that's going to be a much weaker resistance than this will be here, in my opinion. But still, that's the next zone we're going to be watching for a bounce nonetheless. If we go swing high, swing low, we can see price just now is kind of snaking around the 236 fib from this prior high here, this pivot high here to this pivot low, right around the 236 fib. This zone, as I said, is going to be very relevant because this is right here between the golden pocket, between the 618 and the 65 fib level. So if price can get north of this, I do think there's a very good possibility it might snowball quickly. There's a little bit of resistance here, but the next major resistance area is going to be between 1880 and 1912 Satoshi, or 1920 Satoshi, right up here. So you can see that's an excellent risk to reward if we can get above this zone here. And as I said, if you wanted to get in early, you may want to consider buying another pullback here. And I do think there is going to be a pullback. If we pull in here, we can see the stock RSI on the 4-hour is very overbought, suggesting a possible pullback here soon. We can also see the RSI not overbought yet, but sitting at around 65.70, suggesting we may see a pullback there as well. But if we look at the daily is looking actually relatively good. In fact, let me kind of pull out here and show you price. We can see clearly price made a series of lower lows from this point to this point. From the same point on the histogram, on the MACD, we could see that it created a series of higher lows. So we've got bullish divergence, and again, that's on the daily, which means that this thing might have some legs. It's a very bullish indication this thing might end up having some legs, guys. Okay, so we pull in here and we look at the RSI. Daily RSI is operating within kind of a larger wedge and has been since the beginning of 2018. It looks like it's getting squeezed tighter and tighter, but we can see the RSI is sitting down here only about 36. And if it does obey this wedge, guys, more than likely we're going to see it come back up to this zone before it gets a major bounce. Doesn't mean it has to, just means, technical wise, we may see a much larger rise before it gets a greater bounce back down to just the bottom of this zone. Again, doesn't mean that it has to, it just means an observation. If we put it all together, Cardano looks like it might be, this is not financial advice, a good place to get in. We might have seen bottom on Cardano, possibly. This is on the daily. On the daily moving averages here, we can see the 8-day EMA price is just starting to peak above. It's acting as resistance. If we can close above the 8-day EMA, guys, that's going to be a bullish indication in my opinion. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we can see that price is just now risen above the 55-day EMA, and it's acting as support on the 4-hour. If that does end up holding, or if it, at the very least, it can close above the 50-day moving average represented here in orange, that's going to be a very bullish indication as well. We can see it's extending the outer Bollinger Band here, which suggests we might see a small pullback here. So what I'd like to see is this 50-day moving average act as support, or at the very least this 8-day exponential moving average act as support. As long as it stays above one of those, I think that it has the potential to continue to stay relatively bullish. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it there, guys. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, please take care of yourselves. Please smash that like button or that or the upvote button. Just lets me know you want me to continue to make these videos. Till next time, guys, please trade safe. This is Working, signing out.